Grandpa, what'd you think of that movie?
It was very nice, Junior, but not exactly what I remember kid shows being. That's for sure.
Well, Grandpa, what if we watched something from when you were a kid?
Well, alright, I suppose we could. I know just the one. I'll show you. This was my favorite movie from when I was a kid. Oh, yes. Look at them go. Man, they just don't make movies like this anymore.
You mean they make them less traumatizing? Because that's what that was. I know you agree with me.
Why, yes, Junior. I do agree with you. And I think we can all agree that Watership Down is one of the most fucked up movies anybody ever watched. But before we get into that, quick little public service announcement for you guys. I figured out that I can use CapCut and my phone and all of this to make my YouTube videos. I can do all of this directly in my phone and upload them to YouTube through my phone. So let me know if you guys like this format. I'm personally loving it. So yeah, before we get into the video really quick, there is a book on Watership Down. Before it was a movie, it was a book. And I really love the book, and it's very interesting, so I am not including it in anything about this video. If you guys want me to do an explanation or like a deep dive into Watership Down the book, I will. Go ahead and let me know, because that would be very lovely to do. It would be a long video though. That aside, be sure to go follow my Twitch. I'll put it right here. It'll be linked down in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Hey peeps, it's Candy, and we're here to talk about Watership Down, one of the probably most underrated movies I've ever seen, and for some reason is rated G. If you don't know what rated G means, rated G is for general audiences, which means like kids, you know, and just like anybody could watch this movie and like get it. But Watership Down came out in 1978, and there was not much going on at that time. It's a British animated adventure drama film. It was produced by Martin Rosen, and it was based on the 1972 novel by Richard Adams, which is one of my absolutely favorite movies. Or books. I love the book and the movie. The new Netflix series, though, is trash. I mean, I guess I haven't given it the full watch through, but it's trash. It's just I don't like the graphics. Okay, tangent aside, let's get into a quick little synopsis, I think, is the summary of the story. So we start off with two rabbits, one Fiver and the other one Hazel. They are brothers, and Fiver has kind of prophetic abilities, and you could kind of call them that. One day, while Hazel and Fiver are sitting out in a field eating, Fiver has a vision of the field turning red with blood, and I'll put like a little short clip with no sound here of it. And dude, I hear the background music to that one scene in my head all the time, and it drives me absolutely insane. I can't play the music because it's copyrighted, but it's insane. And so Fiver freaks out, and he's like, Hazel, we gotta go. Everyone's gotta go. So Hazel and Fiver are like, well, Fiverr's kind of against this, but Hazel is like, let's go talk to the chief of our warren, and, you know, tell him about this danger if you're so worried about it. And so they do. They go and they talk to their chief, and the chief is like, we're not leaving. It's the mating season. There's just no way we're gonna move all of these people, all of these rabbits, and mess that all up. We're all comfortable, pretty much, is what the chief says. So Fiver's like, well, then you're all gonna die, pretty much, and runs out of the hole. Hazel runs after him. And really quick, I wanted to say, the chief rabbit refers to Hazel as Walnut, which isn't a big deal, but when the chief rabbit originally introduces himself to Hazel, like, it's not like they've met the first time, they're just saying hi. I mean, this interaction is weird because it's like he's introducing himself, but he's like, once he hears Hazel's name, he's like, oh, they've met before, and then the chief rabbit is like, I knew your mother well, which kind of leads me to believe that the chief is Hazel's father, which wouldn't be that big of a deal because rabbits, you know, mate like crazy, so there would be no telling who's whose father, I bet. But, sorry, side tangent aside, Hazel and Fiverr are like, well, whatever, we're gonna leave, and they go to talk to other people and get them going, and they all, or I keep saying people, rabbits, they go to talk to the other rabbits, and they all decide to gather at night. So all of the rabbits gather, and they are leaving the warren and heading towards the woods when we see their warren's Owsla, which they reference this in the movie, but they don't actually explain what this word means in the movie, but Owsla is what the bunnies refer to as, like, their cops within their society. So the Owsla are trailing them and trying to keep them from leaving the warren, and Bluebell, or Holly, they call him, is like the chief of Owsla, and he stops them, but he's like, you guys are committing treason. And then Bigwig, who is like the second in command of the Owsla in that warren, decides, you know what, I want to go with you guys, and he tells Holly to get the hell out of the way and let them leave, so they leave. And everybody makes it through the forest. I mean, they have bumps and stuff here. They run into some owls, some rats, a lendreel, which is a ferret or a fox. They refer to lendree as, like, predators and stuff like that. And they actually run across, like, a farm, too, that has some female rabbits in a box, you know, like a cage, a cat, and a dog. And they don't think much of it at this point, which, by the way, I guess I should give you guys an idea of their group. It is mainly men, except one woman, and her name was Bluebell.
Editing Candy here, and the rabbit's name is actually Violet, and I keep bringing up the name Bluebell because Bluebell is the name of a female rabbit who is the assistant of, like, Chief Holly in the book, and that is why I keep bringing that up. I'm very sorry.
Bluebell, I do believe. Yeah, Holly's name is Holly, not Bluebell. This girl's name is Bluebell. So they're all resting away from the barn, which, by the way, at this point, they've all decided we don't really know where we're going, and Fiverr kind of tells the whole group we're looking for someplace dry and away from everything. We need to be able to see everything, and basically what he describes is a mountain. And, well, a hill, in our case, a mountain for the rabbits. All of a sudden, when they are chilling in this area of big, tall grass and, like, lavender and corn, I want to say. Maybe just lavender. It's flowery, so I want to say lavender. Bluebell decides to go outside of that little field, and she gets picked up by a hawk and carried away and killed, obviously. So now there are no does. it is just this group of men trying to make a new colony, which obviously doesn't work. So, through some more work and what seems like takes forever, they do actually climb up a hill and they find it and they make a little warren in there, but once they're settled in, they realize they don't have any does. Also, I should note that when they settled in to this warren up on top of this hill, I mean, they made the warren themselves, but once they were settled, they found a bird named Kihar, who like crash landed in front of them and like had a broken wing or whatever, and they have been nursing him back to health at this point. But at this point, when they start realizing they don't have any does, Kihar also starts yelling at them, no does, no chicks, no good, no mates, I need to find you mates, because Hazel helped them. So Kihar decides, I'll help you guys scout out for some females when I'm better to fly. But Hazel's like, we need them sooner than this. Kihar's not exactly ready to fly yet. He tries, but he can't, so we wait. And Hazel's like, actually, I have a better idea. I remembered the barn. So they go to the barn. They attempt to, Hazel and another one of the rabbits attempts to free the caged girl rabbits to bring with them. But they end up getting caught, and Hazel actually ends up getting shot, entering one of the most traumatic songs I've ever seen in a movie, Bright Eyes by Garfunkel and Oat, I want to say, or something like that. The song makes me cry tears to this day, but it's about Fiverr is like, Hazel's not dead because the companion Hazel brought with him to try and get those female bunnies makes it back to the warren, and it's like, guys, Hazel's shot. I don't know what to tell you. But Fiverr has his prophetic abilities. He kind of is in a trance of them, but they lead him to Hazel, and he finds Hazel, and they bring him back. And Kihar also, while this had happened, had gone and flown out and was looking for, like, women, bunnies. Sorry. I don't know why I'm getting so caught up on my words. I'm just super excited to be talking about this movie. So once they get Hazel back to the warren and Kihar is back to the warren, Kihar is picking like the little bullet pieces out of Hazel's leg, and Kihar tells them that he found a place called Ephrathah, which I have totally forgot to mention. I don't know how, probably because I hate this character, but while they were traveling, they actually found Holly, just totally ripped to shreds in a ditch, and he's just been kind of chilling with them in their warren. And it's at this point that Holly tells us what happened to their old warren and how he ended up in Ephrathah himself, because he's telling Hazel, do not go to Ephrathah no matter what. And we find out that the old warren was destroyed by being filled in. It was like the holes were filled in. They brought like excavators in and like killed bunnies by the mass. And I'll put up some visuals here and here and here and here, and you can see just fucking how it's some disturbing imagery for sure. I do not remember how this ever could have been a thing for kids. This should have very much been an adult movie. But, you know, whatever. That aside, Holly also, after telling us the fate of the old warren, tells us that Ephrathah is worse than any place he's ever been, and that the leader there, General Woundwort, does not let anybody leave, and he has total control. You are marked, and if they like mark you within your skin by getting scratched somewhere, and your mark determines when you can be above ground, and if you're caught above ground when your mark does not specify, you're like ripped to shreds. And Holly barely escaped, and Hazel takes that as, so there are bunnies that want to escape, And Bigwig, being like the biggest of them, says, "I'll infiltrate Ephrafa," and so Hazel does. He gets to be a chief of Ausla over there, and then eventually he rounds up a few rabbits. I forget what the main girl's name was, but with her help and a bunch of other rabbits, they actually get a bunch of rabbits out of Ephrafa, and General Woundwort chases them. But Hazel has the perfect idea. He doesn't necessarily know that this is a boat, but he finds a boat and sees that it floats on water, so he tells everybody to hurry up and get in the boat or on the piece of wood, and they float down the river away from General Woundwort, who is too scared to get in the water because rabbits cannot swim in that water. So they make it back to the Warren, and everybody's like, damn, we're Gucci, we're chillin'. Until they're not. All of a sudden, they're being attacked by the Ephrapharians, I'm gonna call them, and General Woundwort. And to sum this up very quickly, Hazel decides, in a last-hitch effort to save the Warren he just built, decides to bring the dog from the farm to the Warren. And as you saw in that little sketch earlier part, the dog just comes and absolutely fucks shit up, dude. He kills everyone. Well, not everyone. He kills all the bad guys. But General Woundwort tries to fight the dog. We don't get to see if General Woundwort actually ends up killing the dog, or if the dog kills General Woundwort. All we know is that we get a time skip to where we see Hazel and the whole group chilling as old farts, and Hazel wanders off to this little patch, and he sees their god of death, and he decides to go with them, and we see Hazel die on screen, and that is the end of the movie. Really quick, there's a scene in the movie I wanted to talk about where Bigwig is strangled to death by a trap. That image is forever grained in my memory. Yeah. So, the summary aside, I wanted to talk about this movie a little bit, and because it's so disturbing, a lot of people are convinced that there is a message behind this, that there is some underlying thing this movie is trying to talk about. And when Richard Adams was asked about this, he simply said it's just a it's just a story about rabbits, which I actually do believe. A lot of people have stated that they think this movie is commentating on communism. The book is also, the movie and the book are the same thing. I mean, the movie leaves out some stuff, obviously, but think it's for communism or Christianity. People think it has a really deep meaning. Yeah, that movie's pretty messed up. I recommend watching it, though. It's a really good movie. I might have butchered the storytelling of it a little bit, but it's just, the book is even better. There's a whole, so in the book, they actually talk in different little languages, kind of, and there's an index in the back of the book that you have to, like, switch back to in between pages to, like, read what this word means. Some people find that annoying. I find it personally super immersive. But I won't talk about the book too much more unless you guys want a video talking about the book. As for what I think this movie stands for, I think it is exactly what Richard said himself. I think this is just a movie about some rabbits trying to get away from a colony or a warren that is doomed and facing various struggles along the way that comes with forging your own path and finding your own new home. At the end of the day, this is the best movie I've ever seen. My number one favorite. I mean, it's actually my favorite movie. My second one. Go ahead, guess. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. Is Coraline. Alright. And then third is The Never Ending Story. But now that that video's done, go ahead and tell me how you guys liked this new angle. And my hair is kind of puffy today. I know. I decided to do some curling stuff to it, and it didn't exactly turn out the way I wanted it to. But I hope you guys like this new angle and these new edit styles and stuff like that. Hopefully, with this being all done through my phone, I can, I don't know, do some better stuff with that. I don't know, I'm excited. You should be excited for me too. But it was nice getting to see you in this video. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow along with me on this journey. Like, I need buddies for the quest. Alright. Sure, you're not even watching this anymore, so peace.